Everyone, full room. Is everybody ready? Yep. Everybody ready? Yes. That's American style. I'm from Europe, so you have to say it like you don't really care. Everybody ready? That's better. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show you some stuff, and this is Joomla 3 website. I hope you've all tried it out yet. And as you can see, we've got modules on the side, like we had in 1.5 and 1.0 and Mambo. It's all pretty much the same. And you've got modules you can attach to menu items you're probably aware of. But sometimes you want to do more cool stuff. Like if I go to this one, here I've got a module that shows, but this module only shows on articles of the category of the fruit shop. So if I go to the category list.
Hey Peter, introduce yourself. Not everybody here knows how great you are.
Yeah, that will come in a minute.
Okay.
See here, it doesn't show. And as soon as I go to an article, we've got a module. So that's one step. But maybe you've got your site, and if you show it in Explorer, and yes, I have Explorer installed, just to show you this. So maybe you want to show a module.
Use a browser instead.
So maybe you want to show a module just on IE. You don't need a special custom-made module. You just make your own. What else do we have? I'll shut down this crap. We've got, let's say it's no longer November 16th, but it's 25th of December. And you have like, it's Christmas time. And you say, well, that's in the core. Yes, I know it's in the core. But what you can also do is say, hey, it's Sunday the 23rd. And then it says, it's a Sunday special. And if I change the time to a week earlier, it's no longer Christmas, but it's still the Sunday special. And if I log in and I say it's 15th of June, happy birthday! It's the 15th. And just to prove that this works, I'll log out and log in with Akiba. Password is German.
That's funny.
Isn't it working?
Try Greek.
Was it
You have to
Germans?
write the word German in German.
It's password is Germans. Yeah, there were two of them. That was it. Bonus question: does someone know the birthday of Nicholas?
June 15th.
No. It's
Somebody
February 20th.
I hear somebody looking it up.
Refresh, and it's his birthday now. So that's just a couple of ways you can do cool stuff. So who am I? I'm the guy from No Number, and I'm the guy that created Advanced Module Management. These were a few examples I just showed you of what's possible with Advanced Module Management. As you can see here, here are the modules I just showed you. I started back in the Mambo day, just before the switch to Joomla. I started with that to create the website for my church, and I kind of thought, well, I need to create a website that has all this stuff, and I found Joomla and thought, hey, that's cool, now I don't have to learn PHP to do this. And well, it quickly came, there were a lot of stuff that I needed in there that weren't possible with Joomla. And there weren't the extensions community wasn't that thriving yet. So I started to hack the core, like we all have done. And that went pretty well. I can change something, but if making something new is a bit of a challenge. So changing a bit of core code, and I didn't have any knowledge of PHP at all at that time. So, but it was working, and then came the new update, and everything was lost. So I could start all over again. So I started creating the plugin versions of my hacks, and then I had 4 of these plugin component type stuff. So I created a website to just give them away, and that's how it pretty much started. And before I knew it, I had 20 plus extensions. And about 2.5 years ago, I replaced the donation button with a kind of holistic donation license model, which worked pretty well. And I could get about 50% of my income through that. And then since April this year, I flipped the switch and went commercial. So now I'm a commercial dog, and I earn money. And I get all my income now from this. So I don't have to do any extra projects, no website development anymore. All my time goes into the extensions and into the support and into development. So yeah, I really enjoy that. That's about my story. I'm married, happily married also. And yeah. And I've got a daughter of 5 years old, and the 3 of us each have a laptop, and we often sit on the bench next to each other, all with our own laptop. And yeah, so she's the next generation. So this is Advanced Module Manager, and I'll just, are there any questions at this time about what I've told so far before I dig into it? Yes, over there.
What's the split of time that you do in terms of development, support, and other?
It's about 95% support. And no, it's pretty okay. I spend probably about 2 hours a day on support, and also the support I get in the morning sometimes defines what I do the rest of the day on development. Like if someone has a bug and it's a serious bug, I'll try to get a new release out that day. Or if it's a cool feature and it keeps me awake, then I'll get out of bed and implement the new feature. So it's a very dynamic way of working. And now most of my time is consumed with the 3.0 compatibility. So I've got the 8 of my extensions are ready for 3.0, including this one. But still some to go. Yeah. And you had a question too? No, not important.
No, I just wanted to know how you have a happy marriage, but I don't.
He's only been married 1 year.
Yeah. No, I wish. Over there, yes?
I just have a curiosity. I've always wondered, where did your company name No Number come from?
Yeah, that's a very deep story. The domain name was still free. And that was about it. Yeah, it originated in the time I had the website with just the 4 extensions. It wasn't my plan to make money from it or do anything with it, but I needed a domain name to just offer them. And I like the no name brand, like it's but that was already taken. So then I came with no number, and that's how it started. And then it turned into a business, and I've wondered a lot of times to change my name, but yeah, if it sticks, it sticks. So I could some people I tell the story. Yeah, it's because you're my client and you're a name and not a number, but it's got nothing to do with it. Yeah.
That sounds good though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I like the aspect that the no in number, the NO means number as well. So it's number, and then I've got the hashtag as a logo, so it says number. And, but nothing too serious about it. No. So ready to dig into Advanced Module Manager. I'll just go through these to show you how I did it. Well, the Christmas one is pretty simple, because that's just a date assignment. And we already have that in 3.0 and 2.5. It's also quite funny that I started Advanced Module Manager on 1.5, and by that time there was virtually no assignment options in modules. You could use I think only the access level and the menu assignment. There was no date in there yet. And the reason I started with Advanced Module Management was to be able to say I want to assign it to everything but this menu item, so the exclude option. And it grew from there. And then 2.5 came out, and a lot of stuff that I had in Advanced Module Manager they took over, including date and that option, which is great. But there's still a lot more to take advantage of. As you can see, in Advanced Module Manager, the layout is pretty much the same. There's a few differences. And here I've got a tab only for the module assignments. So there's no menu assignments anywhere else on the home screen. It's all down here. And I'll just show them all and zoom out a bit. Yeah, so here are all the different options, and they work pretty much the same. You can ignore them all, and if everything is grayed out, it means it shows everywhere on your entire site. And once you select something, you start limiting where it shows up. So if you include stuff, it turns green, or you exclude it, it turns red. And you can combine different assignment options, and I'll go into that later. So pretty much at the top you have the menu item assignments, which we know from the core. That works exactly the same. You can also choose on child items, and in this version we have the date option. I switched that off. Where is it? Date. So in this, I made the module show from the 22nd to the 26th, so during Christmas time. So that was pretty much it. When you have some selected here and you see all this other stuff that gets in the way, you just go to the top and you select to only show the selected ones. And now if you zoom out, you only have the menu items and the date one. So if you that's a bit better for overview. And as soon as you want to select another one, you just switch back and show them all. So that's that. I'll go back to the menu. Position.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Do you access the Advanced Module Manager through the Components menu or through the
Oh, yeah.
classic Module Manager?
Advanced Module Manager hijacks the link in to the normal manager.
Cool.
So as soon as you press here on the module manager, it goes to Advanced Module Manager. And you can see it in the link here.
Yeah.
Here it says COM Advanced Modules. If you change this back, it just loads the core one. So the core functionality is still there, it's just not used anymore. So if there are some modules that conflict with Advanced Module Manager, like there's some slideshow modules that do fancy stuff in the back end, which they shouldn't, but they do. And they cause conflicts, and then you can always switch back to the core one to edit it there. So Advanced Module Manager,
Do you have a list of those, by the way?
a list of?
The ones that come
Looking in my forum, there's only a couple. The JK2 one, K4 one is the most famous one, but yeah, I'm not sure. There's only a couple. It's especially the ones that have these fancy yes/no buttons in the back end, and they load their own jQuery stuff and mess around with stuff. I'll just give you a quick overview of what you can see here. This is the list view. It's pretty much the same as the core one, but like here you see these fancy colors. This is just for the back end, just to order stuff and find it, just to tag stuff, to group them. You can even order by color. Let's see. Here it orders by color, and you can change them. So that's a small thing. The other thing is there's a little button to open it in a modal window, so you can edit it here, and it loads a bit faster. I never use it; it irritates me, but some people like it. So. And there's the options. And with Advanced Module Manager, everything that's added onto the core, you can pretty much turn off or on here. So if you switch everything off, you might as well just uninstall it, because you're not using it. And here is a list of all the assignment options you have. So even in the large list, if there's a lot of stuff you never use, I'd advise you to just switch it off. Also, if you're making a website for your client and you don't want to have them mess around with certain stuff, just switch it off. So there's also a bunch of third-party stuff that's in the Pro version that you can use, and it only shows up if you've got it installed, but if you don't want to use it, just switch it off, and it keeps it a bit cleaner. So I'll just go on with going through the modules again. So we had the date one, the Christmas one, or the Sunday special. That's pretty much the same. I made it only show up on one menu item, and it's day of the week, and you just select Sunday, and that's it. If you want to show it on all days except Sunday, you choose exclude, and that's it. I'll show them all. So you've got the date option, which is the same as the core. You've got seasons, and you can switch this to Australia if you're in Australia. Yeah. And all these date options use the server date, so not the client's date. So that's something to keep in mind. And here it says it's currently this time on this server. And months. So you can do cool stuff with if you've got a commercial website and doing coupon codes or whatever, or nice specials. And even in time, so you can say I only want to show this between 10 and 11, and it works. And you can combine them as well, so you can only show it between 10 and 11 on Sunday in the winter.
Is it European tenant format?
Uh,
So like 1300, 1400, 1500?
yeah, yeah. This is European format, so minus the 12 if you're beyond the 12. The correct format, you mean?
Right, the correct.
The one I showed with the birthday, that's a little bit more fancy. There's no option to select show on the user's birthday. But there is, way at the bottom, there's a PHP field. And if you know a little bit of PHP, you can do a lot of powerful stuff here. Here I simply did a query. I'll zoom in a bit. I did a query. Can I get it? No. That selects the birthday from the user profile using the extended profile, which is in the core of Joomla. And I check the month and date to the current month and date, and that's it. And then I tell with the PHP function, you end with a return false or true, and that defines if it shows or not. And you can make up stuff yourself, and if there's an assignment that isn't here, if you use some exotic component, you can just ask them, do you have a PHP snippet which checks this, and you can use it in here. So this pretty much opens up multitude of possibilities. I don't think many people will be showing modules on people's birthday, so it isn't something I'll be putting in as a ready-to-use option. But it's possible. Yes.
That's hooked into on display content or before display content. Where is that executed?
All the assignments are executed during when Joomla gets all the modules, lists the modules. Advanced Module Manager hooks onto that and goes through the list and throws out everything that shouldn't be shown, and adds stuff that should be. So
there
it's
is no try catch in the module itself, in your module itself.
No. No.
Question. I've been using this for a long time, and one of the issues that I ran into was if you have a lot of content, a lot of different modules that are dependent on the configuration, there a number of queries happen.
Yeah.
Is there a way, is there like a best practices or do assignments
Yeah.
to reduce these queries?
Yeah, there is if you use the same assignments for a lot of modules. If you use a lot of different queries, you have to have the different queries to be able to let it function. So you can't do much about that. But if you have a lot of birthday modules or whatever, like in this one, what Advanced Module Manager has at the top is mirror other module. And if you set that to yes, all options disappear, and you can say I want to. It isn't actually mirroring; it's following another module, and then it follows that module everywhere. So if you've got one module that shows on the user's birthday, like this one, and I hook another module onto that, they follow each other around, and then you also only have to change it in one spot, and all the other modules will follow that. I use it on my side as well.
Just another extension of this. One of the things you mentioned was a user being able to manage their own content, and I always find that they have issues between modules and articles.
Yeah.
So what I've been using lately is I would predefine modules and I would plug in your articles anywhere inside it, and I'm simply reference an article that they would update on their own, and that's how the query would run in a circle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is there another way around it, or is that pretty much the best way?
That's probably the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's at articles anywhere, and I'm not allowed to talk about that one here. It's only Advanced Module Manager. No, we might get into that later. So that's the PHP. Any questions on that?
Question, just wondering about do you ever get requests about putting some kind of code editor so you get highlighted code in that text?
Yeah.
Syntax. How
Yeah, it's a text field. What I could do now with 3.0 is connect the code mirror editor to that. That's something I've been looking at, but it's only been released for 3.0 last week, this one, so I had to get it out as fast as possible. So yeah, that will probably be an option. Yeah.
Do you have any permissions so that only certain people can get at the PHP code, so they don't have any ill code?
There's not in that way, no. So you can switch stuff off, but there's not an ACL per option. That would make it too complex probably as well. There is ACL on module type, on the module itself. So you can say that certain people can't edit this module. So that should work. Let's see what else we had. That the blues were the date. Fruit. Oh, I forgot to show you one, by the way. Yeah, so the fruit one was home. So this module down here, it's still the 20th of February. I'll just switch back my time. November 16th. So this module shows on all the articles of category, and you can do that with modules anywhere. Let's see, content, just hide the rest. Hey, I'm in the wrong one. Happy birthday. Oh. This one. There's a number of content options. You can assign a module to a content type. So these are the same types you see when creating a menu item. So you can assign to a certain type, or you can assign to categories, which I did here. And then I selected to only show it on the articles of that category. But you can play around with that how you want. It also shows on all the child items, so if you add a category, you don't have to add it again or change the module assignment. And also I have one. Here's Australia Parks. The default, this is the custom or the core sample data. Australian Parks article is a single article, and I've got a module here that shows only for this article. The way to do it with core is to make a hidden menu item, and if you've got 200 articles, you have to create 200 hidden menu items. So that's no fun. So we had to change that. So in Advanced Module Manager, Australia, you just make your content item, your module, and then you have assignment to articles. So you can just assign it to any article you want. Just choose from the list, one or more, and or exclude it, and then it shows on every other article except these. And you've also got a keywords field. This works on the with the article. You have a keywords field that is normally used for the meta tags, and this hooks into that, so it matches if you have a word in the keywords field. So it's like a tagging system.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So in the case of Australian Parks,
Yeah.
it will work. It will show up on that article only
Yeah.
if the keywords match.
In this case, I'm not using the keywords.
So right. So say I put in Joomla in the keywords.
Yeah.
It will not show up on the page unless
Yeah.
that word is in the keywords.
Yeah. So the idea behind the assignments is if you ignore it or don't select anything, it shows everywhere, and as soon as you select something, it limits to that.
That's the new filter.
Yeah. And with the
At the top, don't you have a global and or
yeah,
thing?
we do. At the top, you have once you start mixing different assignments, it gets complicated, and you have a matching method at the top, all or any, and this is like the and or options in Google searches or whatever. The all means that everything you select should pass on that page. So if you select like what I said earlier, you select Sunday and between 10 and 11, it will only show on Sunday between 10 and 11. If you select the any, it will show on Sunday the whole day, and on any other day only between 10 and 11. Yeah?
Will this be changed? Because I can imagine that sometimes you want and or.
Yeah. That's not possible in this system.
Yeah.
So if you have like 3 assignments and you want to an and an or, you can't now. And it's also not very wise because it gets very complicated very quickly. And the best option in that is to just copy the module and do the assignments in the other module.
Yeah.
So you have 2. I am planning on stripping away the whole assignment stuff into a separate component, and that you can create your own mix and match assignments in that, and just add assignments and group them and or all you like, and then within Advanced Module Manager you can just say I want to use this assignment group, and also use that in other extensions.
Cool.
Yes, in the back.
You mentioned tags for the articles or keywords.
Yeah.
Do you have the feature for K2? I know it's in the Pro version, but tags within K2.
I think there is. Yeah. Probably. I don't have the K2 installed on this setup. I'll just take a look on my. Oh, what am I doing? That doesn't look good. I accidentally deleted my database this morning, my local one, so it's not that bad, but yeah. Let's see, components, module manager. Did I have K2 installed? No, don't have K2 on this one either. I think so is the answer. Yeah, I believe so. I could.
I see you support subscriptions.
Yeah.
Do you have integration for Thinkershop yet?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just throw them options. So these are the third-party stuff that's currently in there. So Flexi Content is in there. That uses the core categories and articles. So for that part, you can just use the core. But it's also got for Flexi Content the page types and tags, I think it is. With K2, I've got the tagging in there, I believe, and yeah. Okay, great. So Kiba subscriptions is with all of these you can at least do the page types, so the different page types and the categories and the items, and most of them also have some extra stuff like tags or whatever. Hickershop, Redshop, and Virtumat and anything that's not in there you can pretty much do with the PHP. Yeah.
Have you considered making the assignments plugins so that if I'm always doing the same PHP script, I can just write a plugin and install it and have it on 10 different websites?
No.
That's the long answer.
Yeah, that's the long no. No. But you should be able to include files via the PHP assignment. So if you have a certain file, you should be able to include it.
But it would have to return true or false.
Yeah, it just has to return true or false, and whatever you do in front of the return is up to you, as long as it doesn't break your site.
I was just thinking if you have a set of options that you've written, but if I wanted to kind of latch onto that
Yeah.
and write a whole bunch of plugins for all sorts of different
Yeah.
things,
It
it would take pressure off of you to try to support and maintain them.
Yeah.
And other people could get involved by supporting their own extensions by just writing plugins for
Yeah.
something.
At this moment, no, and it would be a hell of a lot of work to make it work. It might be, it will definitely be an option if I ever get the time to create the assignment component separately. Yeah. So don't expect it anytime soon.
You might have to expand.
Yeah.
Bring on another coder.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Let's see. There were a few others I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, the no IE one. Most important one.
Right. Should be in the core.
So here you have, yeah, exactly. So here you have the browsers, all browsers, even browsers that haven't come out yet. And here I just selected IE. I can imagine you only want to show something on IE to 7 and lower. You also have mobile browsers, so you can do funky stuff with that. And you can even do search bots. I haven't experienced with this, but you could potentially show different information to your Google bot and get indexed and punished and banned. So I would be a bit careful with this one. Also with operating systems, same idea. You can do with Windows, Mac, and the others.
So Peter, this would be suitable for creating like a pop-up for mobile only, as an example?
Yeah, or if you have a certain market for Mac, you can show other products in a module than for Windows or whatever you can think of.
What about
Yeah.
some of the like spam submitting bots?
Sorry?
Some of the spam submitting bots?
Yeah.
Being able to take and trigger from that, since you're pulling probably from like user agent string
Yeah.
to get the bot field, couldn't that be somehow activated to be able to take and basically remove the submit strings?
Well, Advanced Module Manager only controls the modules, and so you can only show or hide modules with it, and it doesn't control any other scripts. Yeah. So this is based. So this is based on the on the user agent, like it says here, and it's not 100% watertight. And like he says, with the spammers, they'll get around it. But I do have a replacer where you can search stuff and replace it with something else, or remove it. You can remove HTML from your website, and the Pro version also has all these assignment options in it. So you could do that with that one. How much time do I have?
15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll just take a run through all the options that I haven't done yet. Well, menu items is the same as core. We know that one. The home page option. With the normal menu items, if you assign something to your home page, which is expand none, top one. If you select the home page, it will show up there, but any links to articles you have that have no own menu item, they will inherit the menu, the item ID from your home page. So then it will show up there as well. And you might want that. That's okay. If you don't, you can just ignore this one and assign it to your home page, and then it will only show on your actual home page. And there's some funky code that checks whether you have different languages. Then it will show on all the different languages, but only on the actual home page. Or you can exclude it. So that's that. We've gone through the date options.
Sorry to interrupt. Isn't that similar to what some frameworks, like template frameworks, are already doing? Are they using on the homepage kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and with all these modules, it's your template has the last say whether the whole module position is shown on that page anyway. So Advanced Module Manager can't change anything about that. But on all the pages where it's possible to show the module in that position, you can use this. Let's see, users. You can select user groups, and this is it shows on all the selected ones, and if you select the registered ones, it only shows on the users that are actually checked registered. So it won't show on super users, and it won't show on customer group. It will only show on the registered. So if you want to select all of them, you can select them all. This is pretty cool. This is what we brought in with Joomla 3. We had the chosen select box as the only option in the beginning, but that didn't work for a nested type selection. So we're using this for that.
Will that pick up custom user group?
Yeah, here it's just, well, essentially in 2.5 and up, all your user groups are custom. It just, these are the default custom user groups, but you can throw them all out and create your own. And you can even do on user level.
Will it paginate them underneath them so you'll actually see that list there?
What do you mean?
Will it, I mean, you have author, editor, publisher. If you create your user groups underneath, will it paginate them in this list?
Yeah. Yeah, and like customer group is custom, default custom group. Yeah, so you can, they will all show up here. And you can even do on user level, also only in the pro version. Most of the stuff that's only in the pro version you only need on large sites or sites you make money with, so then you should pay for it as well.
With your users there, could you like have all registered users but then use the user IDs to exclude one or two users from the registered group?
Yes, you can.
Cool.
Yeah. And then again, if you start doing includes and excludes, then the matching method, I'd keep it on all, because if you use any, then you don't, you can't wrap your brain around what's happening anymore. Because then it shows on all, it shows on that user group and on everything that is not that user, so it gets very complicated. So try to keep it simple, and if it gets too difficult, you should just copy the module and use a different module for that. Languages, you can do funky stuff with that, especially if you only have one installed. Templates, currently it only has the templates, not the separate styles. I'll probably implement that soon. And the URL option, I haven't used that in examples, but this is probably the one that is the easiest to use, the easiest powerful one. The PHP is more powerful, but it's pretty complicated if you don't know any PHP. With URL, you can pretty much do everything you need as well. It works with regular expressions, which is Chinese to most people, except the Chinese people.
And it's English.
Yeah.
Do you have to do any special formatting
It's general, yeah. And but if you want to with regular expressions, if you don't use anything fancy, the only thing you have to remember is that the dot and the question mark, you have to escape them. I'll just zoom in a bit. But if you want to show your module on all pages that have the shop in it, like this, or only the word shop, but then it also shows on URLs with bishop in it and stuff.
So is regex on by default, or do you have to wrap it in?
No, it is on by default. So you can do funky stuff with that, like it can get complicated very quickly. And
You didn't escape the question.
yeah. You can do stuff like that. Operating systems, we went through that one. And browsers. Components is pretty straightforward, but it can help you a lot. Like
all pages within that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything.
So it's a bit less, it's harder to explain now that everything is using the Ceph URLs. In 1.5, a lot of people are still using the non-Ceph. I've got 5 minutes, yes, fine. And then you could say, well, it shows on everything that has option, whatever in the URL, but yeah, that's hidden now, so you don't know. But yeah, it shows on everything. I use it on my side. I have modules that only show on, or that show on every Akiba page in my website, or on my forum page, and every Kunina page. So that's, yeah, you can use that.
Question?
Yes?
Is, you mentioned earlier by chaining modules, you could avoid doing the same SQL commands over and over and over.
Yeah.
Would you say that the query cache is the most effective way to optimize this, or is there something better than that?
Sorry, again?
Is the MySQL query cache the best? So if you've already done all that,
Yeah.
it's still not loading fast enough. The
Yeah,
MySQL
probably.
query cache would probably be able to save a lot of those repeat queries. Is there anything that would be
Well,
more effective
normal
than
cache would already help a lot.
normal cache, meaning the memcache?
Yeah, no, the Joomla caching would already help. Yeah. And try, if it gets too complicated, you should probably rethink your strategy. If it's too complicated for you, then
Build
it's
something custom then?
maybe. But if it's too slow, yeah.
So does this tool impact performance?
Yeah, every extension you install affects performance. And how much it does, yeah, it depends on so many factors. Most websites are using cache now anyway, so then you don't really notice anything. But yeah, everything you run, it eats a little memory and eats a little time. So you really have to just try out and see what the effect is. If you use it normally and don't do too funky stuff with it, you shouldn't notice any effect with it. Yeah. Yeah. I've got like -1 minute, so I'll just, I think I've gone through them all. Yeah. Only the third-party stuff, but it's pretty much the same as normal Joomla content. Like here, Akiba, I've got Akiba installed, so you've got like page types and the levels, different levels. Well, this is.
Go back to the Joomla content and hit those page types real quick. What was that?
Yeah. So those are the same.
Oh, right.
Yeah, same page types you have in the menu options. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you.
What's the price tag?
Huh?
What's the price tag?
Oh yeah.